Namaste. Mriga Nakshatra falls in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn belong to the Artha Trikona, meaning this angle is highly materialistic by nature. And Mriga is ruled by Mars. So, constant action oriented, and a seeker. These natives are always seeking something, searching something. They can become good researchers. Investigating quality is excellent. And at the same time, since Taurus belongs to Venus, they have this artistic flair, writing poetry, dancing, singing, cooking. Many good cooks are born with Mriga. So it is a nakshatra that is highly materialistic by nature, and because of this, they attain success in life. No matter at what station they are born, even if they are born in a poor family, they will rise and they will become rich. So Mrigashira or Mriga Nakshatra is a highly talented nakshatra, highly intelligent nakshatra. But since this is ruled by Mars, they are also revengeful by nature. Pratishodh, because it is a sign, it is a nakshatra ruled by Mars. Mriga is ruled by Mars, and Mars will never leave you. By nature, Mars is revengeful. And since it is a combination of Venus and Mars, Taurus is ruled by Venus and Mriga is ruled by Mars. So it brings a higher sexual urge. And so in this podcast, I have talked briefly on Mriga Nakshatra and what happens when moon is in Mriga Nakshatra. So let's begin. Mrigashira is a very sexual nakshatra. If a man or woman is born with moon in Mrigashira Nakshatra and Mars is placed in the 7th, 11th or 12th house, then definitely the person is too much inclined towards seeking many sexual pleasures. A woman having such a placement goes through many sexual affairs, or rather many sexual adventures, and so does a man having this type of placement. Mars signify the sexual energy, and moon in Mars Mriga Nakshatra anyhow makes the sexual desires more fired up than otherwise. Taurus zodiac sign individuals are anyhow more focused on seeking all kind of physical pleasures, and physical pleasures are possible when life is luxurious. Moon in Mriga creates a great urge for seeking a luxurious life. A girlfriend having moon in Mriga will generally not buy the story of lovers living in a hut. She just cannot imagine living in a hut. She is born to live in a palace and not in a hut. She is born to enjoy all the pleasures of human life, especially sexual pleasures. Mars is the sex energy. Venus is the pleasure that you attain through this sex energy. A highly talented and intelligent person is often found to be more sexual than otherwise, And so moon in Mriga often gives birth to talented, intelligent beings who by default happen to be more sexual than others. Always remember, the more sexual a person is, the more intelligent. With less sex energy, less intelligence exists. Sex energy or Mars is therefore not bad, provided you don't hurt others or exploit others for your sexual needs. Highly materialistic by nature, Moon in Mriga fires up passion in relationship, but sucks out emotions and feelings out of a relationship. In simple words, passionate sexual pleasure comes their way, but in the process, the love, the feelings, the emotions are missed, simply missed. A man or a woman born with a moon in Mriga Nakshatra will not bother to cut your throat if you come in their way or if you cheat them. They simply cannot forgive. They simply cannot let go. Moon in Mriga makes matters worse, leading to a very tragic life that is filled with many relationship breakups and romantic sagas. Because of too much of sexual hunger, the native may also get trapped or dragged in sexual scandals. An intelligent person does have more sexual energy, but moon is such an entity, such a dangerous monkey, that when it falls in a sexual intelligent nakshatra of Mriga, it simply makes you fall for many sexual temptations. When moon is in Mriga Nakshatra, then you see two extremes. On one end you see a very good man, on the other end you see a man defeated by his temptations. Each one of us have good and bad person within us. We all have two sides to our persona. The problem with moon in Mriga is that, unlike others, these men and women fall quickly to their temptations. Reminds me of a beautiful story. There was a young famous painter. He decided to create a truly great portrait, a lively portrait full of the joy of God, a portrait of a man whose eyes radiated eternal peace. And so he set out to find someone whose face reflected that eternal light. The artist roamed from village to village, from jungle to jungle in search of his subject, and at long last he came across a shepherd with shining eyes, with a face and features that held the promise of some celestial home. One look was enough to convince him that God was present in this young man. The artist painted a portrait of the young shepherd. Millions of copies of the portrait were made, and it sold far and wide. People felt great gratitude just being able to hang the picture on their walls. After a spell of some 20 years, when the artist had grown old, he decided to paint another portrait. His experience had shown him that life is not all goodness. The devil also exists in man. The idea of painting a picture of devil persisted. If he wanted to fulfill this project, then the two pictures would complement each other, would show the complete man. He had already done a painting of godliness. Now he wanted to portray the devil. He sought a man who was not a man but a devil. He went to gambling dens, to bars and to madhouses. This subject had to be full of hell's fire. His face had to show all that is evil, ugly and sadistic. After a long search, the artist finally met a prisoner in a jail. The man had committed 7 murders and had been sentenced to be hanged in a few days. Hell was evident in the man's eyes. They spouted hate. His face was the ugliest one could possibly hope to find. The artist began to paint him. When he had completed the portrait, he brought out his earlier picture and set it by the side of the new paint for contrast. It was difficult to assess which was better from an artistic point of view. Both were marvelous. He stood staring at both, and then he heard a sob. He turned and saw the chained prisoner crying. The artist was shocked. He asked, "My friend, why are you crying? Do these pictures disturb you?" The prisoner said, "I have been trying to hide something from you all this time, but today I am lost. You obviously do not know that the first picture is also of me. Both portraits are of me. I am the same shepherd you met 20 years ago in the hills. I cry for my downfall in the last 20 years. I have fallen from heaven to hell, from God to devil." This is how the life of human beings is. At one point you are the good shepherd, and at the other end you also become the terrible devil. Every man swings between these two extremes. Man can attain to either of these extremes, but most people are inclined towards the infernal. Those fortunate few who aspire to the eternal, who let godliness grow in them, are rare, very rare. Nelson Mandela therefore says that I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. A saint is a sinner who keeps trying. Very deep and beautiful words, my fellows, which only an evolved soul can understand, can relate with. Moon in Mriga is a perfect example of a sinner who keeps trying, trying to improve, trying to progress, trying to grow within, trying to mature as a person. Once it happened, there was a young man, and he was such a beautiful person with a golden heart. But life was too harsh on him. He lost everything. He became homeless. He was in deep pain. He had fallen from his position. The whole world had condemned him, labeled him as a loser. While walking through the forest, he came across an old man. And the old man seemed to be someone special. His aura, his smile, there was something about this old man. The young man bowed before the old man, and the old man smiled and said, "I know your situation." The young man was taken aback. He realized that the old man is not just an old man. He must be a master, a divine master. The young man started crying, and the master raised him up and said, "There is nothing wrong in falling. In life, many times one falls, but what makes him special is when he rises every time he falls. So do not give up. I am with you. Why you fear?" The young man was touched. A great energy started flowing within his being. He said, "Master, I will go back and rise again." And it is said that the young man went on to become the most successful man of his town. Everything is possible only if you are not willing to give up. Always remember, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Moon in Mriga may and does push you to commit certain mistakes, certain misdoings to which the world calls sin. However, if Jupiter and Saturn is strong in your birth chart, then you will be able to correct your mistakes. So, Moon in Mriga can either help you to become wise by rising again, by correcting your mistakes, or Moon in Mriga simply makes you stupid, because if you repeat the same mistake again and again, then you simply become a stupid person. Always remember, to commit mistakes is not wrong. Commit as many mistakes as possible, because that is the way you will be learning more. But don't commit the same mistake again and again, because that makes you stupid. The more sexual energy, the more intelligence, or let me put it in this way, the more intelligence, the more a person is sexual. The more sexual drive he or she has, which is very natural, and there is absolutely nothing wrong about it. It is a very natural process. A highly talented person does have a good amount of intelligence as well as good amount of sexual drive. Taurus is a sign that emphasizes much on the five human senses: eyesight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Since these natives are more physical, they rely a lot on these five human senses, which are very well developed within their being. They can easily smell the danger, they can easily sense the intention of the touch, they can easily hear that which you may not hear, and they have excellent taste buds and a very good eyesight. However, Moon in Mriga also provides the native with sixth sense. A person having sixth sense seems to have a natural ability to know about things before other people, or to know things that other people do not know. Although sex and intense desire for having sexual pleasure is a weak point of Mriga Nakshatra, still you all should remember that the most beautiful point of this nakshatra is that the native is very intelligent, and because of this intelligence he or she builds a successful career and eventually is recognized as a successful person in life. To become successful, you need confidence, and to gain confidence, you need to have the taste of success in your life. Confidence and success goes hand in hand. To attain success, you need to have confidence, and to attain confidence, you need to become successful. Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence. Confidence applied properly surpasses genius. Many people lack confidence because the quality of their past karma and present karma is poor compared to other people. Poor means what? Poor means the native has not taken any efforts to turn inwards, to meditate, to recite the holy scriptures, to chant the Lord's holy name. Nothing he or she has done, and so it is obvious that when you don't pay attention to your self growth, you are bound to live your life with low confidence. Always remember, only that man and only that woman is worthy of living who has taken the first step towards self growth. Self growth is possible only when you start turning inwards, when you start spending quality time with yourself by chanting, by meditating every day. Daily meditation promotes self-confidence, peace of mind, and strong faith in God. You need to take efforts, but people are shallow. The majority is shallow. They don't want to listen. They want some ready-made solution. They forget the fact that real life solutions and remedies are not ready-made. Real life solutions are not fast food. They are the real food, food that brings self-growth, and progress in life comes with self-growth and not otherwise. Always remember, there is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. Taurus is a sign that always loves to take efforts. That is one great quality of Taurus natives which is truly applaudable. And Moon in Mriga definitely fires up this good quality of taking efforts. They always are working on themselves. Their slogan of life is, I'm working on myself. There are many regional names for Mriga Nakshatra. However, the most beautiful regional name for Mriga Nakshatra is Atmaja. Atmaja meaning self-originated, originating from intellect. Intellect or intellectualism therefore comes in abundance to Mriga Nakshatra, and Moon simply fuels in the intellect, thus making the native highly intellectual being. Taurus is not necessarily a social person. However, they like to talk, they like to move in groups, and they generally like a lot of activities. They like to learn by practical demonstrations rather than theories and long lectures. Tracking, seeking, searching, investigating, you see, all of these are activities, and Mriga loves all kind of such activities that include movement and action. If you have a girlfriend having Moon in Mriga, then she would definitely like to see you experiencing your love through action, through kissing, smooching, and not just by being poetic. That's too boring for them. They want action, real action. Moon in Mriga likes when the lover expresses his or her love through a kiss or a tight hug. Remember, Mriga, Chitra, and Dhanishta, all the three nakshatras of Mars, dwell in earthy signs: Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Mars is physical, and therefore Mriga, in a pleasure-seeking sign of Taurus, simply fires up the carnal feelings and desires. A woman or man born with Moon in Mriga will definitely do well in the society. They will earn, they will acquire the luxuries of life, and they will usually rise in position, in status, because they are practical, aggressive, and very demanding. Mriga is a sexual, and on top of that, the deity of Mriga Nakshatra is Soma, meaning the moon god, and moon is also highly sexual by nature. I have always been stating that the mind is sexual by default. It is said that all the 27 nakshatras are the wives of moon. So you can imagine how much sexual the moon is, the mind is. The ancient sages mention that Mercury's father is Moon. Moon had an affair with the wife of Jupiter, and from that passionate sexual affair, Mercury was born. It is said that Moon received a curse from Lord Ganesha because of his immoral behavior. The curse manifested in form of eclipses, moon eclipse, Chandra Grahan. However, moon is also worshipped as God. Moon brings nourishment. That is why moon is often related to a mother, because a mother also brings nourishment to her child. Moon is caring by nature, and a mother is also caring by nature. One who worships moon, one who recites the mantra of moon, definitely is blessed by Mriga Nakshatra. And one who is blessed by Mriga Nakshatra is blessed with all kinds of pleasures. There are total 14 pleasures in this human world that Bentham, a great philosopher has came up with. And these 14 pleasures are the pleasures of sense, the pleasures of wealth, the pleasures of skill, the pleasures of amity, the pleasures of a good name, the pleasures of power, the pleasures of pity, the pleasures of benevolence, the pleasures of malevolence, the pleasures of memory, the pleasures of imagination, the pleasures of expectation, the pleasures dependent on association, the pleasures of relief. A man or a woman who worships Lord Moon is blessed with all of these 14 pleasures of human life. And if you want to directly contact the boss of Lord Moon, then you must visit the great holy temple of Somnath. Somnath means the master of moon. Nath means master. Moon means Som. Somnath means master of moon. And who is the master of moon? Lord Shiva. Moon is always found on the head of Lord Shiva. It simply means that Lord Shiva has the mind under his command. And so, my fellows, if you too want to bring your mind under your command, then start worshipping the Lord of Lords, Mahadeva, Lord Shiva. Doing a Sola Somvar Vrat is highly beneficial if you want to overcome the many difficulties of your life. Sola meaning 16, Somvar means Monday. Doing 16 Mondays fasting, that is fasting on 16 Mondays and worshipping Lord Shiva every 16 Mondays by chanting his holy mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, 108 times, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening using a Spatik Japamala will help you to gain much blessings and much prosperity in your life. Generally, I encourage all my followers to use Spatik Japamala with a diamond cut for chanting, as that is the most beneficial Japamala for a family person. Just by wearing this beautiful Japamala of crystal quartz, that is Spatik, you will start feeling relaxed, and it is only when you relax that your health starts improving, and with good health comes good wealth. It is all interconnected. The sacred tree that comes under Mriga Nakshatra is the $1 million tree called ebony tree. It is called $1 million tree because the wood of this tree is one of the most valuable and expensive woods in the world. Ebony wood is valued for its rich black color, smooth texture and aesthetic appeal. Ebony tree is called Abnus in Hindi language. Ebony wood is black and very rich in its texture. In Marathi language, it is called Kale Lakud, Shisav. If you have moon in Mriga, or if you are born with moon in Mriga Nakshatra, then you should plant the ebony tree in your garden, or you can have a bonsai ebony tree in your clay pot. The more you nurture this plant, the more you will receive the blessings of Mriga Nakshatra. I earnestly prostrate before the nakshatra of pleasures. It is necessary that in this human life we all receive all kind of pleasures, because a man hungry, starving for pleasures cannot progress to the next level, the spiritual level. One has to experience all kind of pleasures so as to proceed ahead to the higher levels of this human life. And so seeking pleasures is not bad. However, getting stuck in pleasures of this material world is wrong, as that stops you from growing spiritually, and the whole essence of my sharing is simply to motivate you all to grow spiritually. Real growth, your real age, is based on how many years you have spent in knowing yourself, in meditation, in chanting the name of the Holy Lord. Focus on yourself, turn inwards, and let the journey begin. Always remember, the greatest journey is the journey within. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.